Chapter 13. Now that I can finally draw a breath and doesn't feel like it's directly connected to my testicles, I get to my feet and lunge towards her. I don't want to hurt her, but I need to get her to calm the fuck down so that we can talk. Then she wheels around and I know talking is off the table. Her icy eyes land on me. There's a wildness there that concerns me. She lacks the control of her counterpart. Looking more like a cat than a stoic soldier now that her back is against the wall. In that way, she's far more dangerous than that soldier. She's something to fear. I raise my hand and take a step towards her. Hey, I don't want to hurt you. If we could just talk about this, and I prefer to converse with people who share common interests. Something tells me we are nothing alike. She rises to stand and the cuffs held in her left hand and the gun gripping tightly in her right. It's no longer aimed at me, but the threat remains. Get on the fucking bed, Maverick. Yeah, that ain't happening. She'll have to shoot me if she wants to cuff me to the bed. I take a step back towards the cabin door. I have a better idea. I'll head to the atrium and give you some time to cool off and you get on the fucking bed. But she's leaving me with no choice. She's the one who needs to be handcuffed to the damn bed. The solution comes to me like a lightning strike. I just need to wait for an opening, then get the gun out of her hand. After that, it's as simple as cuffing her to the bed and explaining why she needs me on her side. She'll have to see reason after that. Thunder booms as the ship travels through the storm. A strong gust of wind pushes a sheet of rain against the balcony door again, but it makes a much louder sound this time. Frankie's head whips to the side, and there's my opening. I lunge forward, keeping my entire focus on the gun. With a quick chop to her wrist, I disable her grip, and the gun drops to the carpet. Ow, what the fuck, Maverick? She shakes her hand and steps towards the gun. My foot rushes towards and kicks it under the bed. Are you ready to listen now? The little minx is too quick for me, and she shoots towards me and straps the cuff around my left wrist before I know what's happening. It's too bad that she won't get the chance to secure the other side to anything else. That's my job. I band my arm around her wrist, then lift her into the air and slam her onto the bed. The wind evaporates her lungs, and I regret the force I used, but she did this. This is her fault. Taking her right arm, I drag her body towards the head of the bed, and then loop the remaining cuff through the decorative gap in the headboard. Before she can regain her composure, I yank her arm once more and slap the cuff over her right wrist. Now, she can't get away. Neither can I, but where there are cuts, there are keys. Once you finally see sense, I'll set us both free. I lie back on the bed and catch my breath as Frankie does the same. Though, I toss Frankie's light blanket over my crotch to hide the arousal that isn't directed at her. It's merely a product of the pain and the struggle, the risk, But she doesn't know this, and if she fears I'll lose myself and take advantage of her, there's no chance in hell she'll ever trust me. It's not that I want her to trust me for my own selfless reasons alone. Fuck. I'm trying to protect her too. Jim wants her to keep alive, and I want to keep her alive. She's just making this more complicated than it has to be. Frankie grabs a pillow, shoves it over her face, and screams. Are you ready to listen to me now? I ask. She raises the pillow. You're so fucking stupid, she wheezes. She lowers the fluffy fabric over her face and screams again. If she says words, I can't make them out. You clearly aren't ready to talk, I mumble. Frankie throws the pillow against the wall and blows the air out of her face. Where is the key, Maverick? In your bag, I guess? And where is my bag right now? I peer over the side of the bed, on my side, near the footboard. I look at the handcuff. I analyze the short chain connecting our wrists. My brain calculates the length of my arm versus the length of the bed. All of these things happened in a split second. It takes my plan to come crashing down around me. I don't know, I whisper. No, you don't know, and neither do I. She sits up and tries to cram her hand through the headboard gap, but it's no use. Her hand won't fit unless she can dislocate some bones. Well, I can scratch live through a Stephen King plot from my fucking bingo card. You read? She scoffs. Yes, I fucking read. Well, I listen to audiobooks, but it's the same thing. Listening to audiobooks is definitely still reading. A few moments back, I was in a heated Facebook debate about the virality of audiobooks versus consuming books the traditional way. Veracity? Consuming books the traditional way. Her head slowly turns towards me, and her brows push together. Facebook? Isn't that more like people my age? I shift uncomfortably. I'm an old soul. Fucking sue me. On the contrary, I find it refreshing to meet a 20-something who isn't talking about cryptocurrency or Taylor Swift's newest album. I won't mention that even I attended the Aries tour. We all have our guilty pleasures. Don't get your hopes up though, she adds. Even if we have to find common ground, I have a mission to complete. The only way to stop me from disclosing everything I discover is to kill me. That's not what we want. We? Who's in on this? And what exactly do you want from me? Jim and I know who you are. My cup wrist begins to ache, so I sit up to take the pressure off. No one else does. You didn't answer the third question. I snatch on the cuff, my frustration building. Because I can't. Because I don't have all the answers. I was given a mission, same as you. That's where we differ. I know why I'm here. My mission means something to me because I swore an oath. She scoffs and shakes her head. There's no honor in what you do. Arguing right now is futile. She fully believes she's making a difference through her work. But I need to show her that she and I can coexist. That her solutions are just more. That her goals aren't too different from ours. Our solutions are just more permanent. I also need to reach that bag at the foot of the bed. Once that's accomplished, I'll think of an alternate plan. Take off your bra. Her head whips to the side. Excuse me? I'm going to use it to fish for the bag. If the hooks on the bra fastened can catch that mesh pocket on the side of the bag, we'll be free. That's actually a pretty good plan. But turn your head. She doesn't need to tell me twice. The temptation is definitely there, but her inability to listen to reason is one hell of a mood killer. Several quiet seconds pass. Well, they're quiet aside from Frankie huffing and grunting. I can't imagine it's easy to unfasten a bra. Usually only one hand, but she's making it sound like a struggle of epic proportions over there. The bed bumps and rocks, and she finally lets out a single whimper. I think I'm stuck. I blink at the wall. Stuck? Like, how? My bracelet is caught on the thread on my shirt. So rip it. The bracelet was a gift from someone, and it means a lot to me, so I'm not ripping the bracelet. She grunts again, and the bed squeaks as she struggles. I don't care about ripping the shirt, but since someone prevented me from using one of my fucking hands, I can't exactly pick and choose. Look, just rip the bracelet. I'll pay for the repair. My hand rises, yearning to push through my hair and release the tension crawling from my scalp. But I stop before I fuck anything up. The style strategically hides a scar I don't want to talk about. The only other solution is to allow me to help you. Frankie's leg thrust on the bed. I assume it's her legs. Anyway, it could be her entire body for all I know. Then she stills. Fine. Just don't get any fucked up ideas. Sex is tied to damn near everything where you sick assholes are concerned. She's wrong. But now isn't the time for correction. If anything, I can remain a complete gentleman and prove that serial killers aren't overly sex manics. I turn my body and my left shoulder thanks me for coming around to a more natural position. Frankie tries to scoot and angle her back towards me. By the time she stops squirming and twisting, I can see where the bracelet has snagged her shirt. I can also see acres of smooth skin. My eyes are drawn to the dark freckles that occasionally accentuates her body. And this is what men feel like when they step into territories that hasn't known human interference in eons. I imagine it's similar. Like, I shouldn't be seeing this, and I definitely shouldn't be allowed to touch what I see. She's a living, breathing, liminal space. Unless you possess magical powers, I don't think you're going to untangle this mess with your fucking eyes, she says, snapping me out of my trance. I lean forward and grab the bracelet between my fingers, providing another anchor so that it's supported. She was right to worry. The frail gold chain would have snapped long before the shirt gave way. A single charm dangles from the thin chain, but I can't make out what it is. Frankie looks over her shoulder. Do you have a good hold on the bracelet? Yeah. She twists her body and the fabric rips, tearing a large hole from the middle of the back to her armpit. Her wrist comes free, complete with a flailing fabric. Well, have to work together to unfasten the bra. I can't do it with one hand, she says, and I nod. Again, I don't feel like I should be touching her, but here we are. I slide my fingers beneath the band, providing support on one side as she pushes and pulls the other. Her muscles and skin warm my hand as they wither against me. I imagine her withering for other reasons, and a familiar arch steals my breath. The fastener slides free, and Frankie breathes a sigh of relief. She and I work together to unhook the right strap from the band. They get it off her back. Unfortunately, it then provides to tangle itself within her torn shirt. Can nothing come easy for me? She screams at the ceiling. Maverick, turn around. I have to remove my shirt to untangle the bra. The ache intensifies as I turn and imagine what her breasts look like. I can't help it. She was talking about them, and now they're all I can think about. It feels wrong, like I'm violating her privacy by imagining her tits, but I can't stop my mind from squeezing and licking and sucking every fantasized inch of them. Frankie mutters something under her breath, and I turn to ask her what she said, completely forgetting that she's currently disrobed. She lets out a scream that I hear loud and clear. And then she slaps me hard enough to put a hard-on collider to shame. I let out a groan of ecstasy as blood finally fills my cock and dampens the ache. The throbbing urge to empty my balls is much more tolerable than the desperate discomfort my entire being feels when I can't get erect. But I'm definitely hard now. It doesn't get much harder than this. Unfortunately, Frankie notices. You are a sick pervert. I knew it. She snatches up the thin blanket and covers her chest, but the damage is done. I have seen them, and they're beautiful. I grab her bra and turn away from her to begin fashioning our fishing line. I'm not a pervert. Pain gets me hard. That's all. It doesn't mean I'm not in control of what I do with my dick. You have no impulse control. Shocker. She's really starting to piss me off, which is a fear. My patience has known no limits when tested at every turn in my life, but Frankie has finally found the boundary. We aren't who you think we are, and that's what I need you to grasp. I test the weight of the fishing line, then decide to add some height and length beside the bedside clock. I'm not asking you to agree to anything immediately, but couldn't you stop being a close-minded bitch for like 10 minutes? Frankie chokes on her indignation, scarping and hopping until she finds her voice. Close-minded, bitch? Good. We've established that you aren't deaf. Like a wild creature, she lets out a scream akin to a sound a mountain lion makes when it's pissed. She lunges forward as much as the chain will allow, and she goes on attack. She thinks she's tough, and I'll admit that her little slaps of her sting like hell, but I can't break her into half if little to no effect. Then the pain registers, and my cock is an iron bar. I lean back and yank her body over mine, pinning her left arm under her body and stopping the onslaught. This position also pins her breast against my chest, but I'm not trying to think about that. She struggles against me, thrashing and screaming and making this so much worse. It's been so long since I've indulged in the pleasure of warm body. If she keeps up this thrashing, I'm liable to come in my fucking pants, whether I want to or not. You have to stop beating me up, sweetheart, I say, trying to keep my voice calm. Instead, it comes out all low and gravely, like I'm trying to seduce her. That only makes her panic more. I won't let you take me, she screams at the top of her lungs. It's fine. I didn't need my right eardrum. Her thighs press against my cock as she squirms in my hold. My past the point of needing pain. So the erection is here to stay, and the end result is inevitable. If I can't get her to be still, I grip her tighter with my left hand and squeeze my legs apart. Her thighs fall into the side of my thighs, and I don't know if this is better or worse. No, that will fucking split me in half, she whimpers, and fuck her for that, and fuck her for how warm she is between my legs. I'm not going to do anything to you, but you need to be still. I move my arms to adjust my grip, which gives her room to wiggle, repeatedly. With a grunt, I hold her against my body as I come in the board of my shorts. Oh, wow. Frankie seems to realize what's happening, either from the horror or the finality. She finally relaxes against me. Did you just come in your pants? She squeals. I push her off me and go back to situating the fishing line. Yes, but that was your fault, not mine. I asked you to stop moving. Trust that I got zero pleasure from it. That's enough to shut her up. For now. I'll have to answer questions later, I'm sure. But right now, I just want to get free so that I can tell Jim the deal is off. He can kill her for all I care, but I refuse to spend another minute with a woman who can't listen to sense or see reason. I fasten the alarm clock to the bra, then rip out the electric cord from the lamp so that I can extend the line. Once everything is hooked together, I toss it out. It takes a few tries, but Frankie stays quiet as I reel in the bag. The keys should be in the side pocket, she says, as I hoist the bag onto my lap. I don't respond. After what just happened, I never want to speak to her again. Part of it is the embarrassment, but it's mostly the frustration. I allowed her to get me this upset. With my jaw tight, I turn and unlatch my side of the cuff, then hurry to unfasten it from the bedpost. As I slide the key into my pocket, she finally realizes I have no intentions of setting her free. That's when the panic sets in. Lots of guys nut fast, she says. It's nothing to be ashamed about, and it's certainly not a reason to kill people. Is that why you do it? Because you're sexually frustrated? She yanks on the cuff. The profiling only works when the killer slides nicely into your predestined boxes. We don't fit your boxes, so stop trying to cram us in there. That's why you had to resort to these measures to find some of us. I stand and go to my bag so that I can get a clean pair of pants. Though I didn't come a gallon, it's enough to leave me uncomfortable in more ways than one. You can't just leave me cuffed to the fucking bed, she says as I gather my things. Oh, I can and I will, but it won't be up to me. I'm telling Jim I need to switch rooms. I start to leave, then decide to give her a parting shot. Whoever comes after me may not be so kind, you know? Not all of us are sexual statistics, but not all of us aren't either. She tugs frantically on the cuff and lets out a low growl as I exit the cabin in search of Jim. Good fucking riddance.